Good morning from Eisenach. You see grey sky and thick clouds, but the good thing is they are in the east and the weather is coming from the west. So precision accuracy is running, and they almost finished with the round, and then we start with four-way formation skydiving. And we hope it's gonna be a nice day. It's cold. Very low temperatures for August, but good jumping conditions. Okay, we see what the day may bring. Okay, here we see a very special warm-up program. Here we see the manifest board, and here we see the master of the manifest,
Great
Mr.
weather
Weber.
situation.
Yeah, it is. The last precision accuracy canopy is landing. And the formation skydivers getting ready to board the boarding truck. Good morning, Team SOS Germany.
Morgen.
A little cold today.
Very cold.
Okay, that's Mika, he's not in the SOS Germany team.
I'm from East. That's good. That film goes towards the end.
Aber du musst nicht, wenn sie...
Wir können B, M, K, J, B, M.
Ja, würde ich jetzt auch fast rein. Zum J. Ja, zum J.
Also sehr wahrscheinlich ist das der letzte.
This is the
Aber dann eben, weil wir müssen
leading team in the SOS class, but they would lead in the POPs class as well, by far.
eben sicher sind,
And one of the guys talking now is Uli Serblock. He's a member of the current national 8-way team, and he's preparing for the World Championships in Chicago.
wir fangen von Anfang an, achten aber nur auf den J, dass wir den vielleicht...
So it looks like they figured out that there's the fast transition from the last grip of the J to the B, and that's what they trained. Okay, so as I promised, here comes another interview with one of the competitors, and not just a competitor, it's a living legend. He's the founder of the Pop Society.
Founder of Skydivers Over 60.
Okay, founders of Skydivers Over 60, Pat Moorhead. And I did a lot of research on the internet, and I found out that there's a lot of things to find out about you. And so my idea is I want to ask the question I could not find on Google or whatever.
Okay.
So I made some notes. And okay, so what would you say are the most significant changes in skydiving since you started in 1969?
When I started skydiving, most of the equipment was old military gear, B4 containers and round canopies, round reserves, and you had to be prepared for a hard landing very often.
All right.
Also it was much heavier. It was maybe 3 times as heavy as what we use today. The capabilities of the canopy were almost non-existent. We couldn't steer them very far, so it was essential that when we left the airplane we were much closer to the target than nowadays. Nowadays we can exit far away and the canopy will fly you back to the target. In those days we didn't have that capability.
Okay. Do you see any changes in like mentally, like the attitude people have towards skydiving?
In those days, many people thought of skydivers as daredevils or crazy people. Nowadays, it appears to me that most people understand that skydivers are just different sportsmen, much like people that play golf or ride motorcycles or go sailing on a boat. We happen to go skydiving. So we consider ourselves sportsmen, and I think the general population sees us that way now more than they ever did.
Okay. So that's the changes that come. Would you say there are things that never change in skydiving? I mean, not only technical, whatever comes to your mind.
Well, the things that haven't changed is that when you get out of the airplane, you go down. That's unchanged.
Yeah.
But the landing techniques and the skydivers' flying capabilities, those techniques have changed immeasurable. There are people that are doing things now that we never thought could be done back in the 1960s. People fly standing up, head down, wingsuit. We call it belly flying, is what we call, because we're on our belly, or flat flying. It's amazing what people do with the sport now, and there will be things happen in this sport that we can't even think of now. Recently, as you know, there have been 2 jumps where people left the plane without a parachute. One, the fellow landed on a lot of cardboard boxes on the airport, and the most recent, the fellow landed on a large net. We would have never thought those things would have happened in the past. However, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, there was a case where a fellow jumped out of an airplane without a parachute, and in free fall, another skydiver brought him a parachute, and he opened it. But this is recently landing without a parachute, which everyone has dreamed about doing, finally happened.
Okay. We have, like, how is it when you meet other, I call you a legend, and I really mean it in a very positive way, when you meet other legends, I mean even younger ones, I would say like Jeff Jeffries or maybe Craig Girard, or I don't know, Jerry Bird, do you know, you probably know him.
Yes, I know all of
so
those.
do you meet people like this from time to time, and how is it, how is the
Well,
feeling?
I have to tell you that from my perspective, none of us that people seem to think are legends in the sport, none of us think of ourselves as legends in the sport. We are just people who are very active, who enjoy the sport, and more importantly, we enjoy the people in the sport. And it sometimes is embarrassing to me, or awkward to me, that people think that I'm someone special. I perhaps in some ways am special because of my age. I'll be 85 in 2 months. And maybe because I've stayed in relatively good shape, that impresses people. But it's sometimes, always, I do not feel like I'm any different than my other good friends in the sport. And most legends, most people who are considered legends in the sport, I think feel the same way.
Okay, that's my experience as well. Some of the guys I met, and I would, Craig Girard I would consider a friend, and they all are completely normal people and very friendly skydivers, I know. But when you start skydiving, that's the persons you look up to, and you keep looking up to them.
Yes.
Because they achieved great things in life. That's,
Yes.
I think that's
They
just
said,
fair enough.
You know, one thing, if anything I would be proud of as an older skydiver was that I set a good example. I let people know that as we age, we can still jump, and we just keep ourselves in good shape,
Yeah.
keep on going.
Okay. Do you follow the newest developments in the sport, like free fly, vertical RW, or swooping, or the proximity flying with wingsuits? Do you follow that, and what do you think about it?
No. The answer is I do only one type of skydiving, and that's free fall, ordinary relative work, as we call formation skydiving. The biggest skydive formations I jump in are maybe 75 people. Usually I like to jump in groups of 10 to 40. I'm not interested at all in wingsuits. I think it's amazing what they do, but it's a very dangerous thing. If you if you try to do too much with that, if you try to get too close to a cliff, it's very dangerous. So I think that I admire people that take those risks, but sometimes I think they take too many risks.
Is there like an important lesson in life that skydiving taught you? Something you would pick out? Say,
Live every day like it was your last, because it could be. But I think that's a common thing. If you have to have a positive attitude about life. And when someone says, how do you keep yourself in good shape, or how do you continue to do the sport? My answer is always, it's all about attitude. And what I mean about that is good attitude. No anger. Forgive your friends if you think they've done something that you didn't like. Try not to insult or talk badly about or to anyone. Just be a nice person, and it pays off for me. I believe in karma. You know karma?
yeah, of course.
What goes around comes around.
Yeah.
And the more nice things you do, the more nice things will come back to you. I believe that very strongly.
Did you ever wonder how your life would have been, when you would not have started skydiving?
I can't imagine what my life. I can't.
Okay.
It would not be. It would not have been as full. I feel I would not have the friends I have. I would not have the fun and the adventure. I might say that all of my children and most of my grandchildren have already made at least one skydive. I have one son that made 1,500 skydive. He's since retired. I cannot imagine what my life would have been had I not become a skydiver. I didn't start skydiving until I was 37 years old. And I was the oldest guy at a parachute center. And I didn't know. When I made my first skydive, it was a static line skydive. And I had no idea that I would continue in the sport. And now, 6,500 jumps later, here I am. And still having fun, even more fun. So I can't even guess what my other life would be.
Okay. So last but not least, one more question. Do you have any hot tips for the young guns in the sport?
I would recommend strongly that the younger people get more than one opinion about what they need to know about the skydiving, the different techniques. One of the strongest recommendations I would have, and I think everyone would agree, is don't downsize your canopy too early. Unfortunately, most of the statistics nowadays, in our history, is that more people are killing themselves under a perfectly good parachute because they oversteer, underestimate, and they make too low to the ground. So I guess go slow would be the most simple thing. Go slow in everything you do. Everything you want to learn about skydiving, go slow, talk to more than one person, and don't think that you're invincible, because you are not.
Okay. Thank you very much for the interview. Great pleasure to have you here. And
I'm having a good time, and I'm glad I came.
Okay, thank you. Thanks. If the competitors look at my videos that I'm posting every evening, almost every evening and night, so maybe I'd have a look around, and I see Hans from the Netherlands, and maybe I ask him, hey, Hans, what exactly do you think, I mean, are you interested in the videos that I'm posting every night? Hans? Okay, so for that, what a surprising, amazing day. We started with a real bad weather forecast, and but it turned out to be okay, the weather. And now we have finished 4-way nationals, but they're not judged. So we have to wait for the results, and we are done with round 5 in precision accuracy, which is really good. And now we start with a brand new discipline, sports accuracy, and the jumpers are in the air right now. And this is a discipline where it's basically all about make a stand-up landing in a special target, something which is pretty hard for most of skydivers on the whole world. So here comes the first sports accuracy jumper. We have landing zones, which gives you points. That's where the judges stand in their yellow vests. So it has to be a stand-up landing in a certain zone, and that looked pretty good. It's not really late, it's about 5:30, and I'm on my way to the judges' room. The judges are not there, they are at the sports accuracy field, and I try to finish the end of day video a little bit earlier. As I posted yesterday, I got a little cold, and thanks for all the good wishes from all over the world, and I'm already feeling better. So this was a perfect day, and we will do the flower ceremony for the four-way national teams, and then we will look forward for tomorrow. That's not a jumping day. It's will be full packed with excursions to Eisenach, to the Wartburg Castle, and other historic sites in Eisenach. And we will continue with jumping then on Thursday. Okay, so no video tomorrow. We see each other on Thursday. Bye bye.